For those listening to this podcast, a word of warning before you continue. The following podcast may contain inappropriate language and themes, possible spoilers for the shows discussed, and above all, voicing of bad opinions. Proceed with caution and enjoy. Alright everyone, welcome to Reanimate, a segment of the Anime Abroad podcast. Joining us today we have Tom.
Oh, I wasn't expecting to be first. Hi.
Second up we have Tim.
Hello.
And last but not least we have Cassie.
Hey.
And also me, but I forgot that part. So moving on. We have a question of the week. Do we know what that is? Have we decided?
Question of the week is, what is the question of the week?
Interesting.
Email your suggestions.
Thoughts on a postcard.
Tweet us with your responses.
P.O. Box
Is someone running our Twitter yet?
1111.
I think Dave was doing it.
Oh well. Question of the week. What's the worst looking anime you guys have ever seen?
Your mom.
Well,
Oh!
trust me, I really do not like all these new CG ones.
Which one?
The likes of, like, I know it's
What,
the
like,
Knights of Sidonia.
Knights of Sidonia?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
My Little Monster's the same, isn't it?
What?
Nope.
No.
No,
Okay.
My Little Monster's like a rom-com kind of thing.
No, not the same genre, I mean the same style.
I don't think so.
It's My Little Monster is absolutely not CGI.
Yeah.
No.
That would be probably great, but
It
That
just looks
sounds
the same.
awful.
Saying that though, I really
Um,
like Ruby.
I'm not fussed, honestly.
And
I
Ego's
mean, you
just
can have
sucking an imaginary
bad-looking-
dick.
you can have a bad CGI and you can have a good CGI. Like, it's just a matter of quality. Like, saying all CGI is bad is not. You can't really do that yet
Reductive.
because CGI is kind of so new that we haven't seen the best it can do.
But is it really that new? I mean, we've had it for a while now.
In terms of anime, yeah, I kind of feel like Japanese animators haven't really got their heads around it yet.
I don't know.
They
I
just
mean,
feel
I
like-
remember watching Gankutsuo, and
Yeah.
there was like one episode where suddenly, for no real reason, they get like giant suits of armor that are mechs. Like, this is the Count of Monte Cristo, so you have like duels, but suddenly out of nowhere they have
Robots.
armors and they're mechs for
Yeah, 'cause I was going to say,
whatever
'cause
reason.
Yeah, because it's anime.
Yeah, well-
What more reason do you need?
most of the Gundam series
flair of the
nowadays,
genre.
most of the Gundam series nowadays have the actual Gundam scenes in CG. I think it started with Seed. I think.
That's pretty common, though. I think universally, almost, I can't think of a recent mech series that hasn't used CGI mechs.
Yeah, I
Nah.
know. What was it?
Oh, no, it
The
doesn't.
anime I was supposed to watch last year. I don't remember what it's called anymore.
Alt Noah
For the
Zero.
most part, oh yeah, for the most part, Old Noah's mechs look fine. I think
Yeah, I
the
like what else
human mechs look really good in CG, but I think
Not
the
gonna
CG
lie,
kind of makes the Martian mechs look kind of Fisher Price.
I haven't actually
But-
watched any more of season 1 than episode 6. It's
Well,
it was one of
Alt Noah's
those.
it.
It was on my to watch list, and then I just never got round to doing it. And then you guys got me onto Log Horizon, and then that happened.
And then we all dropped Log Horizon.
Oh man,
It's
I watched the
Get your chips
second
in the
episode
really-
and then I
It's
stopped.
just gone really good for about 3 episodes, and then they've just suddenly fucking dropped it again. It's just like, oh, there could be a war coming, but you're 3 episodes from the end. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna pick that one back up.
Oh yeah, the show was Arc of Vulin. Yeah, I watched 3 episodes of that and then never picked it up again.
Mm.
It was just
So,
so
worst
generic.
looking anime? Anyone got any names to throw out? Name and
I
shame?
can't think of anything.
Yeah, as much as I hate Death Note, it's beautifully animated.
I mean, there's things like Anohana and Ping Pong recently that have been really kind of edgy looking.
Did you say Anohana?
Isn't that, no, not Anohana.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't know,
what?
that's really
By
nice.
It sounds like that.
Yeah, I've seen screencasts of Ping Pong.
Aku no Hana. That's it, isn't it? Flower of Evil.
Sure.
Aku no Hana. Yeah, just Google it. Google images and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
I
Yeah,
don't
Ping
even know
Pong,
how
I
to
remember.
spell
Wasn't it kind of like intentionally like that or something?
Yeah, I think
It
so.
seemed
Like,
really kind of pretentious.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, these are both shows that have gone out of their way to have a really edgy looking art style that some people quite like.
Guys, can we talk about JoJo?
Hey, don't diss
Yes,
JoJo.
Gundam.
JoJo's fantastic.
I watched 3 episodes, but then I got distracted by Hibernate Renmei because of Cassie.
I can say I'm not that much of a fan. I'm glad it's sort of stopped now, but the Flash animated animes that were coming out last year, I wasn't a big fan of them.
Kill la Kill.
Not Kill la Kill.
God, no, Kill la Kill was Flash anime. Like, honestly, dude, some of the scenes, it was done on purpose, like, for comic effect, but holy crap, some of the scenes in Kill la Kill, it's like, you see characters moving on pivots, like their arms just going, ooh, like zero animation to it whatsoever. But go on, like, what's an example? I don't think I've seen a truly Flash anime.
Let me just try and find one of them, because it was on a couple of summers ago on Crunchyroll. I think it was last summer, maybe? Or summer before? Where it literally had the word Flash in the title. Okay, no, I think it was just before this, because I remember it being the season before Ori no Imuto 2.
Is Ori-Emo like a monument point for you in the timeline? Like, oh yeah, you judge all time based on the seasons of Ori-Emo.
No, I was watching other stuff around then, and I just vaguely realised it was there because we'd watched season 1 in a group that I was with, and yeah, let's just leave it at there.
It is a interesting point though, how like you don't really get any bad looking anime anymore because
nobody watches them.
no, not even that.
Yeah.
It's like even the worst anime that's coming out still looks okay. It's quite high quality in terms of
Yeah, I heard
like,
Fate
image
Zero
quality.
is pretty good. Animated
Come on now,
anyway.
It's a bit early to go fishing, mate. The thing that's really low quality in like the lower budget series is like animation. Like the actual art looks fine when you're looking at it, but there's like barely any moving pieces to it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we all know shots of anime, which is like a 10-second shot of just a dude's face while he's thinking. That's not moving at all. I think, especially with like weekly series, like the big shonens, you get that a lot. Really low budget animation.
Mm.
But I mean, it's pretty effective. You don't really notice it unless you're looking for it.
Yeah, I'm not too picky.
Honestly, me neither. Some people are really picky when like they'll like take each frame of an anime and like break it down, and if someone's got 4 fingers,
Actually,
that's a massive
I lied.
faux pas.
I really didn't like what Log Horizon looked like overall. Watching it did bother me
is
sometimes.
that art style though?
No, I like the art style. The animation, I don't like.
Right.
Like, I did
Yeah,
like
I'm
some
with
of the
you.
new kind of character designs. I thought it was kind of neat, but like the animation was bad.
Well, that's Dean for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, honestly,
We wanted
God,
to talk about.
cannot find this Flash anime to save my life.
Well, keep looking, Tim. It's
Oh
keeping
wait,
you
no,
quiet.
there's one of them. There's one of them. One-chan Gakita.
That sounds fantastic. Oni-chan in the title. 10 out of 10.
Let me just double check it is.
Added to the watch list.
Actually, I don't think
Yeah.
it is. I'm not sure. Either way, it's one of those. Basically, there were those short little 10-minute ones between animes. I thought, oh, I'll just give this a watch, and then it turned out to be a Flash animation. I'm just like, you know what? If I wanted to watch a Flash animation, I'd go into Newgrounds.
And that's a good point because some of the animators on Newgrounds are like putting out way better looking stuff than like what that would look like.
Wait, speaking of short anime, have you checked out what I told you to check out? Anime de Wakaru Shinryo Naika. Man, I don't even know how to say that.
No.
It's the one about the psychosomatic disorders.
Nope.
Like 5 minutes long. They just pick an episode.
I will check that out.
They just pick a disease and they like go over it. And the first one
What have they covered
happen to
so
pick is
far?
about ED.
Excellent.
The second one
Relevant.
is about
Sure.
pedophilia. The third one is about dementia.
Wait. What was the second one again?
Pedophilia.
Kitty fiddling love.
I mean,
Hang on, so this is
term
a mental
pedophilia
health
as
awareness.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to shag
how
little
do they
kids, you're
cover-
fucking mental.
I mean, they go by the
like,
DR.
how do they approach that?
They go by the DSM and everything, and it's like, they just actually go by like the standards for approaching it in psychological medicine.
So, I mean, I guess that's interesting. It's not really.
It's just comedy.
It's a bit. Exactly. It's a bit of a serious subject to make a comedy anime about, isn't it?
Oh, you want to have
think
sex
it
with
covered it
kids?
pretty well.
Oh, you.
Do you find yourself watching kids getting on the bus and getting all hot and bothered?
Even episode 3, Dementia? How on earth is that a laughing matter?
I know.
Like,
It's not
from
laughing
some-
matter. Dysfunction.
From somebody who
Pedophilia.
actually works with elderly.
Dementia.
That is terrible.
They don't make fun of the actual disease.
Grandpa
Doesn't make
doesn't
it
know
any
where he is,
better.
and he's forgotten everyone he's ever loved. He's also shit his pants. Lol.
Shit his pants and walking around flapping his dick around the room.
Grandma doesn't remember you anymore. Isn't that funny?
What? Wait, what? This is on here? Oh, no, it's a manga adaptation. Never mind. About to lose my fucking shit.
These are very serious topics, Ravi. Like, do
Well,
they
yeah, I
actually
mean, it's supposed to be about
respect the
serious topics.
subject matter?
Yeah, they
But
do,
do they
and
respect
they
this-
cover it seriously.
Okay, so how does a comedy work? Is it mocking the subject, or is it
no,
like
it's mocking the
goofball?
It's not mocking the
slapstick?
subject. It's like, it's just like they present a situation where they like question what the subject is and everything, and they like have people misinterpreting that and like making jokes about that and the misinterpretations of the subject matter rather than the actual subject matter itself.
I really need to see this because I can't like visualize this at all.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send me a link for that one at some
This
point.
sounds horribly inappropriate. And
Basically, send me the link
As
for
someone who wants to be a
Dementia.
psychiatrist, take it from me. It's not making fun of it.
Send me a link for the Dementia one in 4 weeks' time so I can legitimately have a laugh about it without feeling guilty.
Why 4 weeks time?
Because that's when my notice period will be up.
Okay.
Shouldn't
I
it be
will
2
do-
weeks?
No, it's because I'm working with the elderly. It has to be 4 weeks so they can try and get somebody else in and do background
Oh.
checks on them.
That makes sense, I guess.
Plus, it means I get like a full month's wages out of it rather than half a month's.
so, pulling things back from paedophilia and dementia,
Space Dandy!
let's talk about art styles. We can talk about Space Dandy as well in that. How much of Space Dandy have you seen, Tim?
About half the first season.
That's about the same as me. I think I stopped after the undies or the vests episode.
No,
Terrible.
what was the one I've just watched? I've just watched the one with the little tiny aliens which that they thought were fleas. And it wasn't.
I've seen that one. I've seen
the
I've seen that
Graviton
one
and
as
the
well.
Gravitas. The Graviton and the Gravitina.
Whatever. That show is.
I fucking love it. There's something about
I
it
know,
that I just love.
Is it the silliness or what?
I think it is. I think it's
Probably.
the fact it's one of those animes that doesn't take itself too seriously, but it sort of reminds me of like the way Samurai Jack used to be. Just something
I don't
new.
get that at all. Explain that.
The way it's like it's a slice of life ish kind of thing, but it's not really. But like every single episode is just something new. It doesn't matter about who's killed what and who's done which to who in previous episodes. The slate's wiped clean. Like, literally, the end of the first episode, do they kill themselves with a supernova?
Wait. All right, you said
Oh,
that
yeah, they
every
do, don't they?
every episode a character dies, right?
Yeah, there's a zombie apocalypse one. There's one where the space dandy who shoots himself so far into the future that he's a god.
So is it just like a series of like skits or what? Like,
Sort of.
Kind
It's
of.
like a full half an hour for one skit.
okay.
Honestly, the one thing I do quite like is like every episode is very different, but that means sometimes some of the episodes are really not entertaining at
Yeah,
all. Like there was one episode that the worst one for me by far was he went to like a planet with these two identical, I can't remember if they're identical looking aliens.
oh,
or
the
not, but
undies
there
and
was
the
these two-
vests.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no.
It was basically two factions. One faction wore vests and one faction wore undies, and they were at war. And I mean, that's about it.
No,
There's not much more I can tell you than
was-
that. It was fucking awful.
There was the one with the sentient plants that I didn't like that much.
The one with the booby monster,
No, not the booby
which is
monster.
literally That was disgusting. I'm just bringing it up. That one wasn't great. The race was quite good. The first and second episodes were really good.
There's one that's quite emotional with the cat dude.
Yeah, and that one, there was like episode 5 is like a super down to earth, really emotional episode for like no reason whatsoever.
But it was a bit like Gale Who Leapt Through Time. I felt sort of like while watching it. But like it was like kind of a Groundhogish Day kind of feel because they kept repeating the same day over and over and over again until the main character sort of bonded with his dad and apologized for running away from home.
Wait, I think I'm thinking of a different one than you. I'm thinking the one that can like control people like a puppet.
No. It's later on.
That's episode 5. That was a pretty emotional one as well.
Yeah.
So like they have, yeah, the show itself is just extremely all over the place.
And every now and again, I just stop what I'm doing and going, Dondi, like the show does.
Uh-huh.
And
That's funny.
Cassie's just sitting there like, what the fuck are these two on about?
I'm also still going through all those quality pictures.
I'm not sure I'd recommend it. It's extremely hit and miss on quality and humor. Like, sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really funny. Other times it's just cringy and awful.
Is it like something you can watch while going to sleep?
It's something you can watch while you're high as fuck.
I probably wouldn't watch it, to be honest, Ravi. Like, I dropped it and I don't plan to pick it back up.
I don't know. It just
I
looks
heard good things about it too.
I've heard so many mixed things about it. Like, oh, it's so disappointing, or oh, it's amazing.
It's a really mixed show because the high points are amazing and the low points are just awful.
So it basically depends on what kind of person you are.
It depends what episode you're on. I'm being 100% serious. Like, some of the show, like episode 1 and 2 are really good. Episode 5 is really good. All the other episodes I saw, like up to episode 7, were terrible. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, sometimes the humor is really funny. Sometimes it's just, please stop. Like, boobies are not funny. If you keep saying boobies, it is never going to get funny.
Especially when it's in a restaurant.
No, it's just a word. They just keep repeating a word and hoping one time it's going to get funny eventually. It's not.
Boobies.
No. I think if you're not that bothered about terrible humor, you probably will like the show because when it gets bad, you can probably just brush over it. But it tired me out a lot.
I don't know. I'm pretty into bad humor.
I'd recommend you watch it and gain your own opinion of it, like I had to do with Tokyo Ghoul.
Did you gain your own opinion that it was bad?
Oh, that's actually something I was watching too.
What are we talking about now?
Tokyo Ghoul. I actually liked the first episode of Rude.
And I'm about halfway through the season, and I'm teetering on the point where I'm like, okay, so in the opening you're showing him with his mask and white hair and all this fighting. And
just wait.
Don't worry.
So far, he's
it'll
done
all
fuck all.
happen.
Yeah.
Everything will happen.
Either way, I want to watch it just so I can gain my own terrible opinion of it. So far, I'm liking it to a point. Mostly because Gourmet. Was it the Gourmet? Is my favorite Japanese voice actor.
I hate him. He was my least favorite character in the entire fucking show.
Is that the purple guy?
I absolutely hate that guy. I didn't like him. I didn't find him funny.
I liked him at first, but then he got slightly worse and then a lot worse.
He's supposed to be funny.
I didn't take
For
him
me,
as
Tokyo
funny.
Ghoul peaked at about episode 5, I think, was my favorite episode, and then after that, it was like...
Yeah, me too, I guess.
Episode 1 was my favorite.
Hmm?
Episode 1 was my favorite.
Well, that was what got me into it, I guess, but... Yeah, you should finish that, Tim, and let us know how you feel.
Yeah, I will, eventually. I'm sort of, like, I'm watching it on Netflix, and the episode I'm up to, it gets to a certain point, and then the subs and the audio go out of sync.
Oh.
By a good 30 seconds.
Oh, wow, that's not even, watchable, then.
Mm.
Just mute it and watch the subs. Or the subs not even, on the right part.
That's like watching it on Twitch or something.
The subs are 30 seconds ahead of the audio.
Oh, that is completely unwatchable, then.
Literally, one character leaves and he's saying... What was he saying? It was the crazy white-haired guy, and he's just walking out the room going, oh, I have no time for relaxing. You know I can only work. And the subtitles are going, oh, it's a child? And then it flicks to two other guys, and the two of them are there going, oh, it's a child. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, what you pay for there with Netflix.
Oh, no. Watching...
So is that Brute that you're watching on Netflix?
Well, you can,
Are you watching the first season or the new season of Tokyo Ghoul?
First one.
Right. I was just wondering.
As if the British Netflix is that up to date. We've only just got Attack on Titan. Saying that, watching that in English is hilarious. Because certain lines are certain lines are coming, and then they turn out to be completely wrong, and you're just like, the fuck?
I think I saw like 2 episodes of Attack on Titan. Yeah.
I went back.
They needed to. Oh, go on.
I just went back to rewatch it because the convention we're going to in July. The girl that does Tiny Tina in Borderlands 2 is the one that does Sacha Brown.
Really?
Yep. I didn't know that until I saw it on the guest list for Kita.
I like the guy who does Levi's voice. Is it Matthew Mercer? I like him.
Yeah, he's such a nice voice.
Yeah, I like his voice.
Some of his other roles, though, made me...
What else has he done?
I'm going to have a look now.
Additional voices in Cowboy Bebop. Nice. Oh, he was Kuro Yarigami in K. Okay, yeah, I'm in love with him. Yep. He was Tiger in the rebooted Thundercats.
Do you know in the
rebooted Thundercats?
Yeah, they got the guy that played...
When?
They got the guy that played Lion-O in the original series to play Lion-O's dad.
Huh, cool.
I watched all of it, but it got cancelled. It was very boring, for the most part.
They had, when I was at like primary school, they had VHS tapes of the original Thundercats series. I never watched it, I just remember looking at them and going, wow, this looks super cool. Maybe one day I'll be able to watch this.
One day I will afford a VCR.
Oh, speaking of primary school, I remember my mum used to be the manager of an after-school club. And I remember us all racing back to the after-school club as quick as humanly possible to watch Cardcaptor Sakura and Digimon after school.
Boy, Cardcaptor Sakura.
back in those old fun, 4Kids days.
I used to go home and watch DBZ and Power Rangers.
I watched it on YTV, which you guys wouldn't have had because I think it was a Canadian station.
Yeah, I know YTV because it's the watermarks on like the top corner of every pirated TV show I watch online.
Whoa. Why would you watch something pirated?
For the thrill.
Yar, because he be a pirate, see, yar.
Oh man, Matthew Mercer's done a lot of video game things.
Yeah, that mostly I know him from video games.
I know his name from video games, for sure.
There was he did a role in... What was it that he did a role in? There was some role he did in... I'm sure it was... Oh, my brain's gone dead. I'll find him and then I'll piss myself laughing because I'll remember. Oh my god, though, searching through this, the Action Man cartoon. Did anybody ever watch that?
Nope.
No.
Action Man cartoon, I think I watched some of it.
Oh, I used to friggin' love that as a kid.
I don't think I've heard of it.
Then afterwards there was Atom, which was Ace Teens on Machines.
Oh god, that was terrible.
That was an Action Man property. And the only reason I remember it, I think it was on TV after I was like at the point of watching it, past the age of watching it, but the name was so terrible I've always remembered it. Ace Teens on the Machines.
What was it that he did?
Any of you guys used to watch the Jackie Chan cartoon?
That was fantastic.
Of course.
That was so good.
Just the bit afterwards as well, when you'd have live action Jackie Chan and somebody'd ask him a question and he'd always talk about sport. It's like, oh, Jackie, what's your favourite type of food? Oh, I loved eating this, but I also love doing it after I do some sports and some exercise, yeah? Okay, maybe it wasn't
Jackie.
Matthew Mercer that made me pee myself laughing over. No, I guess it wasn't. It was somebody, though. Might have been from Sengoku Basara.
Jackie Chan is Japanese, right?
Chinese.
He's Chinese.
Is he?
Yeah.
I was just wondering, if it was Japanese, it would be interesting if it was an American cartoon.
No,
it
was an American cartoon.
It was an American cartoon, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. That was one thing that always really confused me about things like Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, which were anime that were a bit more set in the real world than things like Pokemon. Just where the fuck is this set? Like, what's going on? Because I didn't really have a concept of what anime was back then. Yeah. I'd heard these cartoons were from China or Japan or something. But Joey Wheeler has a really American accent, so I'm like...
That was all 4Kids.
Man.
Yogi.
And then there's half the characters have got normal names, and then there's Yugi. Yugimoto, which is not a name I've ever heard. Like, that's definitely not from around
Yeah.
here. So,
I don't think I ever thought much of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I grew up around a lot of Chinese people, so they always told me, "Oh, it's from Japan." I'm like, "Okay, now where's Japan?"
It's that island.
what's a Japan?
It's that island that doesn't recognize China's existence.
Yeah, it's a country that we hate.
Yeah, all the Chinese kids will be like, "Oh, I don't tell my parents that I watch anime because they would disown me for it."
Yeah, we had a bunch of people from Hong Kong at our school, and it was like just hearing about all like countries that hate each other in a part of the world that isn't yours. It's really funny. It's like, oh, it's just the same as over here. Like, things like Norway and Sweden kind of hate each other. China and Japan hate each other.
Holland and England.
Australia and New Zealand have a rivalry.
No,
That's not where
funny.
you are, though.
No, we just hate the French.
Well, we hate the French, and then the Scottish, Irish, and Welsh hate us.
Yeah. Well, no.
Then again, who doesn't hate you?
Northern Wales is okay with us. It's South Wales that hates us.
And then we have a tentative relationship with Germany. We don't really talk to them much anymore. But, there was some stuff in the past.
Not
Well,
since
yeah,
the war.
we just sort of keep in contact with them ever so slightly because our royal family are related to them.
Related very strongly. Like,
One
almost
generation.
entirely the
our
same
royal
thing.
family is German.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really funny.
Like,
I'm convinced that Germany has never stopped its conquest of Europe. The fact that Germany pretty much owns half of Europe now with all the buyouts, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think they finally figured out how to do it.
it's ridiculous that Germany sustains the EU. Because at some point, the Germany couldn't sustain itself.
It is delicious irony. It really is. I mean, at this point, Germany probably owns Ireland, most of Spain, most of Greece.
Do you mean they pretty much own all of Greece?
I can't think of...
Cyprus as well, probably.
Yeah, definitely all of Greece, because Greece got bailed out harder than like any other country.
And Turkey, that have just joined the EU, are sitting there going, well, crap.
Say hello to your German overlords. Now hand over the Jews and please leave.
Man, this is so anime related.
I know.
Well, yeah, if you want to make it anime related, let's just talk about that one Dragon Ball Z movie where Hitler came back.
What?
Yeah, no, seriously, there's one who is, it's like hell, like the dead world
Excuse
freezes
me?
over. Seriously, Hitler is in it. Gohan and Trunks, Gohan and Trunks, no, Goten and Trunks are sent to stop him. They both go Super Saiyan, and he goes, blonde hair, blue eyes, I should really be recruiting you two.
You're bullshitting me right now. What?
No word of a lie. No word of a lie.
You are a filthy liar.
Oh, do you know what? I'll find the name of the Dragon
I'm
Ball
looking
Z
on
movie.
YouTube.
Just search Dragon Ball Z Hitler.
No.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, there he is.
Holy
Okay,
shit!
Yeah, he
if
doesn't.
this is real,
yeah,
if this
'cause
is
he wasn't
real,
named Hitler, but like,
What is his power level? What's Hitler's power level? Seriously.
doesn't say anything. Alternate
Like,
Oh yeah,
names.
there he is.
I've watched.
Zombie
man.
general.
There he is.
I've watched the entire
Wow.
movie. It's hilarious.
Funimation.
Does he
dub.
always have his hand
Christopher
up? Every
Sabat.
single one of these pictures, he has his hand up in the salute. That's
man.
amazing.
He was voiced by the same guy who voiced Vegeta.
That is incredible. Huh. Speaking of which, isn't there like a new Nazi Superman?
Wait, what?
Ravi, you might know more about this. I think you're more of a comic guy than me. It was on Kotaku. There's a Nazi Superman now.
Oh yeah, I mean he's like, it's just an alternate Superman in Earth 10 because they like have multiple,
I'm going to come out
realities.
with an edgy opinion here, but what is the difference between Nazi Superman and American Superman? He's just a tool used by a superpower.
Yeah, it's just that it exists in a world where the Nazis were never wiped out. They won. Or
I mean,
actually,
the US Army having control over
this is what the
Superman is
DC
just
Wiki
as terrifying
says.
as
Superman was one of the superhumans appointed by Adolf Hitler to be his heroes, and Superman became a member of the, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, enforcers of the Nazis' regime. So yeah, Nazi Superman.
Yep, Nazi Superman.
That is
Who'd win
very
the fight?
interesting.
Who would win in a
Dragon
fight?
Ball Z Hitler. Nazi Superman. That's the real Superman versus Goku
No.
question, isn't it?
The real question is Aryan Goku versus Nazi Superman.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep, that's incredible.
Do you know what? By the way, do you know what I've heard recently about Dragon Ball? That because of the success of the last movie that came out, they're rebooting Z, like continuing it from the Majin Buu arc, and
Man. Is Akira Toriyama involved?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the reason why he actually released the last movie, just to see if it was still popular.
Oh man.
And they're completely ignoring what happens in GT. Like GT is no longer canon.
I don't think it was ever really canon anyway.
Is GT the stuff with the monkey dudes and people doing the fusions?
It's Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah.
Where Goku gets turned into a kid, but when he goes Super Saiyan 4, he turns back into adult size. Except he's
Isn't that why he has black hair, like red trousers and a tail?
No, it's like
which one's that?
Purple fur from the waist up. I'll try and find a picture of it to show you.
No, I think I know what you're talking about, but I always thought that looked really stupid.
Were either of you ever in that like age where you looked up like Super Saiyan 5 Goku, Super Saiyan 7 Goku?
Nope.
You were like, oh man, these are awesome. Oh,
nope.
That's just me.
I remember with one of the last Dragon Ball Z fighting games, they actually did Super Saiyan 4 Broly.
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
They have the newest game coming out, Xenoverse.
It's out already.
That looks interesting.
Yeah.
That looks interesting. I've seen some gameplay of that. It's like an MMO.
Well, the last one was like that as well.
And like, well, it's not an MMO. It's just a
it kind of is an
multiplayer.
MMO. Yeah, but there's like...
You make your own character in it, but you can do that in the last one.
I watched a Game Grumps video on it, and they were just running around this big open area with a bunch of like... It's basically just Dragon Ball Z OCs. Yeah. That everyone's made. With
you can
really
make your own
dumb, funny names.
Oh, I think I've seen some of that, actually.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now, yeah.
It looks just like a capital city from an MMO.
What I can tell from the campaign, it's literally somebody's gone back in time and fucked up, so the villains always win.
Yeah.
And as you go back to try and fix it and think you fixed it, the villain just gets back up and goes, nah, mate. Like, literally, you stop Frieza from killing Krillin and beat up Frieza, and then suddenly he comes back and Krillin's just like, oh, thank God I'm alive. Ah, boom!
Just like Yamcha.
No, Yamcha just needs the enemy to sneeze at him.
Who's worse, Yamcha or Chaozu?
Yamcha. Chaozu lasted longer.
Yeah.
At least Chaozu went out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah. I remember in Dragon Ball, like, Chaozu was actually really good. But then he just became, like, a very gimmick character and was destined to explode. And that's it.
Yeah, but so was Krillin. But you think about it, though, Krillin is the strongest human on Earth.
Yeah, he is.
Like, everyone jokes about him being so weak.
His power was unlocked by Super Kami Guru. No.
I saw a bird. It was pretty. Kick its ass.
No.
No, I pretty much did that all yesterday at the Monster Hunter events I was at. It was just a massive group spouting DBZ abridged stuff. I actually showed Kirsty they've done the Cooler movie, and so funny. Tom looks like he's about to fall asleep.
I'm sorry, I'm waiting for the Dragon Ball Z stuff to be over because I have very little reference point for Dragon Ball Z. I never watched it. I only know it by reputation.
Oh, I bummed that when it came onto Cartoon Network. That was like my. Do you know what? Speaking of which, Cartoon Network based anime over here in the UK. I went back and rewatched Tenchi Muyo. Like, it was one of the first ones I watched. It was broadcast round about tea time, so about 5-6 o'clock on Cartoon Network. Well,
isn't that like the original Harem?
Yeah.
Just for reference, what time is tea time?
About 5-6 o'clock.
5? Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want about? What do you want about, mate? Tea time. It's like 5 at the earliest, 7 at the latest.
Tea time over here is the evening meal.
Tea time over here in
like
America doesn't really exist.
Dinner.
Breakfast, lunch, tea, or dinner, depending on what you want to call it, and then
or lunch or dinner, depending on what you want to call it.
My parents just drink tea whenever they feel like it.
Oh no, it's not specific. It's not a specific time for tea. It's literally the meal is called tea.
Yeah. So you call dinner is the third meal of the day for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, I
Right, well,
call
for me,
lunch
second
dinner
dinner
and
is-
Yeah.
I have supper later.
Man,
Like,
what
I go breakfast, dinner,
yeah,
supper.
So supper and tea is like the same thing.
No, supper's the little meal, the little thing you have after tea before you go to sleep.
No, mate, that's just a snack because we're fat. Like, every culture
are the
is
hobbits.
3 meals. Everyone calls it breakfast, and then there's dinner or lunch, and then there's tea, supper, dinner, depending on where you are. But
what was it called in Sweden? Night food?
Yeah, something like that. I remember we all fucking lost it when he said that. Yeah, I think it was night food.
Either way, though,
wow.
it was broadcast around about 5-6 o'clock in the evening, and I went back and watched it a couple of years ago, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh my god, they actually broadcast this stuff like tea time." Like, at one point, one of the characters just teleports into the toilet to try and get a better look at the main character's dick.
Mm.
Oh, man.
They rebooted this.
No, Tenchi Muyo's had loads of respawns. I'm on about the original one.
Yeah. They I think it's still airing. There's a daily version of this show that like comes out every single day. It looks like it's finished now, but they got like through 50 episodes of it coming out daily.
Bloody
10-minute
hell.
episode. It was if I remember correctly, it was funded by Tokyo or some city as part of their tourist board.
Yeah, it would have been Tokyo because one of the series was called Tenchi Tokyo.
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but it was funded by a tourist board of some city, and I think the whole point of the series was like as a tourist attraction, would go around and like visit all the you know what I mean, like landmarks of the city.
Yeah, it's a bit like in Godzilla. Whenever they film in a new city, Godzilla specifically goes around and destroys the city's major attractions.
I think that's just for, like, effect, though. Like, oh, Godzilla's destroying the important things again.
Godzilla! Oh, you!
Oh, man. Godzilla's had so many, like, little, like, weird movies that are about, like, oh, baby Godzilla, or
Do you know what,
Godzilla becomes a mommy.
Everyone jokes about it, but Godzilla is essentially the Japanese version of 007.
Yep.
Like, in one...
Wait.
Seriously? Like,
Wait,
it's that...
what?
For
As
direct,
in, like, long-lasting, like...
No, for director-wise. The
I thought
epitome
you were
of...
doing like a...
like, the epitome of any English director's career normally is directing a 007 movie. And
What about Harry Potter?
Harry Potter
What was that
movies
saying?
are no longer made, Tom.
Well, that's not
yeah,
exactly
but I'm just
true.
saying.
Oh, the full Death Parade OP is out.
Oh, well. Okay, wrap it up.
And that's a wrap. Is that really the end, though?
Allow me to answer that question for you, Ravi.そうと現実に一石を投じて個性を磨け結界悩むなんだよまた一つ消去頭からケツまでそれが我がエンタメだまだ信じないさ紐解いたシャ